Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the free class Introduction to Neurographica. Your microphones are muted. If you want to ask questions, there will be time at the end to ask questions. You will be able to unmute yourself and ask. Today, we are going to be working with our a topic that you want to work. I'm going to be choosing my own topic, and you can choose your own topic to work with, and we'll try to find the solutions and feel better about an issue. In the beginning, we'll start again with the exercise, choosing words for writing, free writing for a minute on this topic. So has everybody chosen a topic they want to work on today? And my topic is going to be to have a nice class on Monday. Starting Monday, we are starting the big Neurographica class, 4 weeks. And I want it to go smoothly and for everybody to experience and to benefit the most, to take everything that they need and the best for themselves. So I'm going to be writing on this topic. I'm only going to do it for 1 minute. So let's start. Just free write any words or phrases that come to you about the topic that you're focusing on. Okay, and stop. And now I'm gonna switch my camera for you to see. Share screen with the other camera so you can see what I'm gonna be drawing. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you to get a white paper and a dark marker. I'm using black Sharpie so that it's visible, it's contrasting on the paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna think about my problem, my topic, and I'm gonna close my eyes and try to feel how I feel it in my body, where exactly it is located. And I feel some kind of a tension around my chest. And I have some anxiety about the upcoming class because I want it to be very good. And I really strive to present the information the best way possible. So I want to reach my expectations for myself and for everybody in the class. So now I'm gonna draw a shape of my topic on the paper. So right now it is kind of edgy, and yours can look differently, but this is the shape of my topic, what I'm experiencing. Next, I'm gonna focus on my hand and focus on the topic, and I'm gonna do catharsis, express my feelings and emotions on the paper. I'm breathing in and doing catharsis, expressing it on the paper. Once I'm done it, I'm gonna wait for everybody to finish doing it. And we are gonna start rounding all the corners that are on my paper. I'm gonna go over some lines that are not very sharp from the catharsis. And round the corners. The way we round things is that we create a little arc where the angles are, where the crossings of lines are, and fill in those areas so it looks smooth. And in the class that I'm preparing, I'm gonna explain, you're gonna learn more about why we do it and how it is beneficial for us. How does the whole process work? Not gonna get into details right now because it's a big topic, but you will learn everything in the class. And you will be able to use it for yourself with any problem or any concerns, any topic that you have, any struggle. It works very well on blocks, emotional blocks, anxiety, relationships, communicational problems, resolving conflict. Conflicts starts within ourselves first. So if we work on ourselves to resolve the conflict within us, the outside conflicts are resolved as well. And here is my little topic all around it.
Can this process be used for like anxiety or anything like that?
It is very helpful with anxiety. Very helpful. It can be done in a short period of time. Sometimes it needs to be repeated. And it doesn't really matter if your anxiety is big or small, whether the anxiety is about, like we are now going to coronavirus situation, or if it's just an anxiety about you having an argument with somebody. Doesn't matter what the source of your anxiety is. So after we've rounded everybody inside our catharsis, we are gonna work on this initial shape of the problem, and we are going to create a more fluid just incorporate everything in a fluid form and round again all the corners. And I feel already becoming a lot more calmer about the class. I know the material will be very beneficial to the people who come to learn it. And I'm excited to be able to help so many people and to spread this knowledge. I understand that my willingness to help people is a lot bigger than any fears or anxieties that I may have.
Mm.
It is very inspiring for me to be able to see people learning it and using it for themselves. It works very well on different people. It's good that you don't need any experience in drawing, so anybody can do this. Any prior experience with art is not necessary. Kids, children, or adults, anybody can do this and get benefits.
So while you're talking, while you're filling in, while you're rounding, that's intentional, right? That's what you need to do when you're working through this?
When you're working through this, you need to focus on your topic. This is an introductory class, and it's a sample for you to see what it is exactly. What you will need to be doing right now is to focus on your own topic. And
Right.
it's a little bit distractive that I'm talking, but the purpose of this class is for me to spread it out and to have people see what it is and experience it in at least some way, to be able to later on come to my class or learn it by themselves and use it by themselves. I'm focusing on my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions. And at the same time, I'm drawing, rounding all the corners that I have created and seeing the progress of the drawing. And you yourself need to be thinking about your own topic and experiencing your emotional and physical state. And so I'm taking a deep breath because I feel the anxiety around my chest that was in the beginning dissipating. My shoulders are more relaxed, and breathing helps with it. Breathing always helps us to go through any difficult emotions and feelings that may arise through it. Now that I have a rounded shape, I can move to the next stage. And in order for me to feel more supported, I'm gonna draw a resource for me. I'm gonna, and resources are drawn with circles usually, because the shape of a circle brings a feeling of calmness and wholeness. It is a universal symbol that has been used throughout the history, and it speaks directly to your subconscious. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my drawing and I'm noticing there is this arch here, and I'm thinking I can continue drawing it, and I can complete it to a circle. And my circle is so big that it's going outside of the paper. And it's okay because my subconscious mind will complete it. We don't need to see the entire circle on the paper to be able to complete it in our mind. Yours can be smaller or bigger depending what you feel and how you see it. Something that you are drawn to do. If you don't see an arch, just draw a circle around somewhere that is partially with your catharsis. So it can be interacting with it. And think of what is the meaning of this circle for you. For me, this is gratitude. I'm grateful for the whole method of Neurographica, and I'm grateful that I was able to discover it and use it, and I'm going to be able to help other people. And yours can be different. Something positive that you find, that you draw, can bring you purpose and meaning and support in your life, or regarding the topic that you are drawing about. And I'm also seeing another arch. So I'm gonna draw another big circle here. And I'm rounding all the corners that are now created from the new circle. And I'm trying to see what the meaning is for myself. This circle, the new circle, has a meaning of community for me. And people are social creatures, so we all have a need to interact and live in society and help each other. It is very important to me to be able to communicate with people, to be able to interact and have social communications, social life, as we are all connected. So 2 circles for support. At this time, for me, I feel like they're enough. If you feel a need to draw more, to feel more completed, please do so. Now we are going to be working with the areas outside our figures, our shapes, and going to be just intuitively drawing lines that go into this space and balance the space on the paper with the lines inside, with this topic that we had inside. so that it doesn't look as intense and such a problem for us. We can see that outside of us, other people also have other problems, and usually when you see it, you don't feel so alone. You are a part, you feel like you are part of everything, part of your community, part of your society. And you see that other people are able to deal with the same problems. So it is possible for you to also find a way to deal with your own problems, find solutions, and work with it. Usually all the problems are within us, and if we work on ourselves, we are able to change our perspective, and the problems dissipate, get resolved. I know I have the knowledge to do this class. I've been studying a lot and I'm prepared. I know that I have also support from another teacher who is more experienced than me and very passionate as well. I know I have the support of the Institute of Neurographica in Moscow, and all their knowledge and resources that I can use in the class. So I'm becoming more and more confident with every line I make, and I see in my mind, in my mind's eye, I see a very successful class. I see people receiving knowledge and being able to use it, utilize it, and being very happy of their accomplishments. If you don't see all the corners that you need to round, you can turn your drawing around and look at it from a different angle. Sometimes this helps to find corners that are still there. And now that my drawing is mostly balanced, I'm moving to the next stage. How are you doing, guys? Are you there yet? Okay. So the next step is to add color. And I'm using colored pencils. You can use colored markers or highlighters. Highlighters cover large areas very quickly. They're easy to use, and if you have some or would like to use them, you're welcome to do so. The way we choose color is intuitively, just any color that you first pick. the way we color at least two segments that are next to each other with one color. And
what kind of pencils and pens are you using?
The pencils are recommended. You can use any pencils, but I found this to be very nice.
Oh, that's what I use.
Yes, they're very soft and smooth. I use Sharpies for black markers. And I also like to use these smaller, very tiny. They have Sharpies that are tiny, but I like to use sometimes with the sharper ends.
So what colored markers are you using? Because I noticed you were using pastel last week. Pastel colors?
I'm not using pastel colors because if you use pastels or crayons, it's hard to regular markers like Sharpies, you cannot draw afterwards over over them. So those are not recommended if you want to use it after, if you want to add something. For example, I just colored this segment, and if I want to go over it and add more lines, I'm not going to be able to do it if this was crayon or like oil pencils.
But I thought you were using some sort of a colored marker last week.
No, I used other type of pencils, just colored pencils.
Oh, okay.
And they are again Crayola pencils.
Okay.
And they are twistable, so that they save time. You don't have to use the sharpener as often, or you don't have to use it ever. But they're a little bit more oilier that I prefer. So sometimes it's hard to use marker over them.
Oh, okay.
I started using just regular markers in the beginning when I started drawing, but then if you draw on a bigger piece of paper, those weren't good enough. There are other markers that are with wider markers that can cover bigger shapes, bigger size of coloring size, but I don't have those. So, and you don't have to spend a lot of money in the beginning on those. As you do this, you will figure out what your preferences are. So colors are, materials are not important. Important are the colors that you use and the state that you get when you are using those, because when I start to color, I'm in a state of creativity, and this gets my thoughts calmer. It's a state of calming my mind and receiving more insights and ideas and being creative and general. So right now I noticed a corner that I didn't round before, so I can go back and round it. But generally, we want to round everything. We don't want to leave anything unrounded on our drawing. This is rule number 1 in Neurographica: round everything. And then you can, only after rounding everything, you are safe to stop and maybe finish the rest next day or later in time when you have it. But rounding needs to be done right away.
So when you're using colors, are you also thinking about the good aspects of what you want in the class?
Yes, this is what the process is. I'm still continue to monitor my body, my feelings, and my emotions about the topic, and it's very inspiring and pleasant right now for me to think about it, because I'm in a state of harmony and bliss and creativity. And so I'm getting more and more excited about the class. And this pleasant state is helping me change my attitude. And you know that if you're in a state of creativity, calmness, positivity, you find resources, you attract the right people for help, or everything comes together very easily and nicely. This is one more thing I want to add. You can always go back and finish and add more things to your drawing at any point in time. So please keep your drawings, don't throw them away, and come back and work on them at any point when you feel like it. You can mix colors. So if I have, if I want to use, for example, a little bit of yellow here, I can mix it with orange. And have a unique color. Create a unique color on my drawing. More artistic people know other techniques. It's not necessary to know how to mix colors or what colors go together. You just need to use your intuition, whatever it is telling you. Try to balance the colors. If you have a color in one part of the drawings, your drawing, you want to add it to the other part of the drawing as well, and to create a state of flow and balance. In the class, the students are going to receive certificates at the end that are backed up by the Institute of Moscow Institute, and they're very nice. They're beautiful themselves. I love how they make them. And you can continue studying Neurographica. There is many layers. There is classes for learning about different colors and how to use them to heal yourself. Colors can be healing. on the body and on your emotions as well. So if you have experienced some anger, which is usually red color, you may balance it with green and create more of a attitude that is calmer states. You don't need to finish to completely color the entire drawing, because white color is also a color, and if your drawings have white spaces, there is more breathing space, there is freedom, and we just need to follow the same rule that you don't leave just one white space somewhere. At least two as a minimum of white spaces. And so I'm almost ready with the colors, and I'm gonna move to the next step, and you can finish coloring it later. You can add more colors later on. So next step, we're gonna add lines that are gonna be going through the entire drawing, and they need to draw in a general direction, the same general directions. It can be from bottom to top, from left to right, or on a diagonal. Mine are gonna be going, so I'm just feeling it, how they're gonna go. They may go over existing lines, or they may create new lines. I need a new Sharpie. Here it is. Those are the lines, energetic lines of the universe. I'm drawing the support. I'm feeling my connection with the universe, the cosmos, and drawing energy and support from this feeling, from everything I'm a part of. And I feel a sense of surrender to the higher purpose. Once I drew those thicker lines, I'm rounding them because they're thicker and there are some corners that appear. I feel I need to just exhale, and I'm melting. All my body or my muscles are melting. I feel a smile coming on my face, and the sense of fulfillment in me. Those lines, the number of lines can be between 2 to 5 lines. And here is my second line. So going one way and then returning, going the other way, making it thicker. and rounding. I always like to surrender to the higher purpose, because our minds are limited, have limited understanding, and I'm not the one to be able to predict and know everything, but I know I will be guided. Okay. So here in my drawing, I have the color blue. Blue is related to the throat chakra, to expressing yourself, and I'm going to be talking in the class, so I need some support from the blue, and I'm very happy that I have it here. How are you doing right now with the lines?
Good. I've got a lot of rounding to do still.
Okay, yes, please continue with the roundings. I'm gonna go to the next step right now. Our next step will be to make a fixation, like the ending point to our drawing, which is going to be done with a thicker line. So I'm looking at my drawing and I see this shape that stands out to me. I'm going to go over this shape and emphasize it, make it a focal point, make it stand out. We call it fixation in Neurographica.
What is it called? Fixation?
Fixation.
Will you spell that?
I'm gonna send it to you in the chat. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just in a little bit.
It doesn't matter where on the page.
It doesn't matter. It's what stands out to you. So just look at it, and you may take it a little bit away from you. And if you don't see it right now, you may look at step away from it. Just leave it. Don't do the fixation right now if you don't see it.
Okay.
Sooner or later, you will see something that stands out to you. And it will have a special meaning to your subconscious mind. You may or may not understand it consciously at this moment. Your subconscious mind will get the information and will be able to process it. And sometimes you may get insights about it after you sleep. Sometimes it may take a couple of days. And the feeling after that is of completion. The feeling is, again, harmonious and of achieving the result. positive result. Again, I'm rounding all the corners that are made with the thicker line of the fixation. So this shape for me was the shape of the community. And I really feel guided and drawn to spread this knowledge to the world. And I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to do that. So now I can put in the chat. This is, I wrote it for you in Russian in the chat. Here it is again. Okay. Would you like to share anything about how do you feel right now? Or if you have any questions.
I feel good right now. I think I really like this process, introducing shapes and stuff in. And I watched Anna's thing on the shadow work this last week, and this is kind of similar to that for me.
Yes, yes.
The shapes all disappear themselves.
Yes.
The rigid shapes.
Exactly,
A lot of
yes.
sweet shapes.
Very
So
good. Very good. I hope to see you all in class, and I know you will learn a lot of things and gonna be using it for good causes. And if you don't have any questions, I'm gonna be wishing you a good day. I want to recommend for you the second class that Anna has today, this evening. She's gonna be working with anxieties and stress. Her classes are a lot longer though, I just need to warn you, but they're very thorough. And this evening I'm going to be also participating just as a as a participant, but I love her classes. So I can, if you would like to do it, it is what time was it? I think it's 6 p.m. California time.
Seattle time.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to get into her classes because I signed up for Eventbrite.
Yes, right.
And when I go in there, do I search for Neurographica and then that's how I get to her class?
I can send you the link for her. Okay. Yes, but that's the way she posts them there, yes.
So that's 7 to 9 for me. That's later for you, isn't it?
Yes, it's 8 to 10 Central Time.
Yeah.
But they're very, very good. I loved her class. I also did the shadow work. She repeats them 2 times. And so I did the previous shadow work. It was great.
When is she doing the next anxiety work?
The next will be Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time.
Okay, I think I'd want to do that one instead of tonight. I
Sure.
want to do this tonight.
Okay, good.
Can you send me that link?
Yes, I will send it. Thank you. Very glad that you were able to come, and I'm happy that we were able to draw. And have a nice weekend, and looking forward to seeing you in the class. Thank you. Bye.